Hello, my name's Nat. Welcome to this special episode of Newsbreak to mark Anzac Day. I'm here at the South Australian National War Memorial, where lots of people have been coming to honour Australians who have served and died in military operations since World War I. Anzac Day happens every year on the 25th of April, and this year marks a significant anniversary of the Gallipoli landings. Here's Sass.
On this day, 110 years ago, Australian and New Zealand soldiers landed on the Turkish coastline at Gallipoli. It marked the first major military action fought by Australian and New Zealand forces during the First World War. More than 50,000 Australian troops fought here, and more than 8,500 of them died, while thousands more were injured. Anzac Day is all about remembering them, and the tens of thousands of Australians who have died in war since, as well as recognising the more than 1.5 million servicemen and women who have served our country in all conflicts, wars and peacekeeping missions around the world. Today, here in Gallipoli and all around Australia, lots of people have gathered at dawn services and commemorative marches to reflect and make sure our soldiers are never forgotten.
I think it's just important to make sure that people remember what the sacrifices were.
It's super important. You get to learn a lot of things. It's very memorable.
Remembering the people who did everything for us.
Lest we forget.
G'day, I'm Sergeant Ethan Douglas, currently deployed on Op Berserker. This Anzac Day, I'd like to reflect on all ADF members that have paid the ultimate sacrifice serving for this great nation.
Now it's time to meet 12-year-old Lara from Melbourne, who visited the Shrine of Remembrance with her grandfather to learn more about her great-grandfather's involvement in World War I. Check it out.
My name is Lara Marfage.
My parents are Serbian. We celebrate Serbian festivities and we eat food which smells like our grandmother's kitchen. I never really thought much about what it means to be a part of that world until I found out recently that my great-grandfather fought in the First World War. One evening, I was sitting with my grandfather on the couch and he began to tell me a story about the First World War.
And the First World War started. Australia and Serbia were allies. Some helped on the front line and others helped to take care.
I sat next to him, listening to stories about people whom I didn't even know existed. I felt connected with them, as if they were a part of my life, my cultural background. One afternoon, my grandfather took me to one of the most important memorials in Melbourne, the Shrine of Remembrance. Up until that day, I had passed this memorial without much thought. My grandpa was talking about the battles which Australians took part in at Gallipoli and in France, and told me that there were many young people from Melbourne who dared to go on that journey, and that many of those never came back. Up until now, this place was for me just a memorial, but now everything looks different. This flame, it is a remembrance that wartime stories are more than just about battles and soldiers. They're about friendships, courage, about people who fought not just for themselves, but also for others.
G'day, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Jada Sanderson. This Anzac Day, I'll be reflecting on my military service, our proud military history, and our peacekeeping legacy.
And finally, we're going to meet 14-year-old Jordan, who had the big responsibility of playing the last post at his local dawn service this year. Take a look.
It's just really special. It's like just everything freezes for a moment. You just look out there and see everyone. Heads down, they're just paying all their respects.
In the New South Wales town of Merimbula, Jordan here has become the go-to musician for playing the last post. The last post is a very old bugle call, which was originally played to signal the end of the day in the military. But these days, it's more often heard on Remembrance Day and Anzac Day to remember those who have died. And it's traditionally played on a bugle, but Jordan has to make do.
I do not have a bugle, so I'm just going to start with the trumpet. I feel important because if I'm young, then I get to carry it on until I can pass it on to someone else.
That's all from us. Have a good weekend and we'll see you on Monday. Catch you then.